Hello, welcome to my video about feeding birds. It is winter time now, and with it comes the period of time when we like to fill in the bird feeders and then watch the birds fly around and eat the food. And it's good to attract various species of birds into our gardens and offer them refuge, food and drinking water. And it is also good for us to attract different species of birds into our gardens because they will help us during the season. In this video we will talk about how to do it, when and what to feed properly, and also what to watch out for when we are feeding birds. Before we start feeding birds, we should keep in mind that by placing a bird feeder in our garden or a windowsill or on our balcony, we also take some responsibility. Birds form their fat reserves mainly in the second half of the day. So, when deciding where to feed before the night, they will probably count on our feeder as well. When there is lack of food in the bird feeder, it might be too late already for them to search for food somewhere else. So if we decide to feed the birds, we should do it regularly and also provide about the same amount of food every day so that the birds can really rely on it. And when to feed the birds? Here in Europe, we feed the birds mainly between November and March, so the cold months of the year. The most difficult are frosty nights with a snow cover, when birds have to gather a lot of food during the day to create enough fat reserves to survive such a frosty night. And it is hard to find the food under the snow cover. The smaller the bird's body is, the faster it loses heat, and therefore needs more energy to maintain a constant temperature. In addition, the short length of the day during the winter gives the birds even less time to find food. In order to obtain enough food, for example, robin must devote 85% of the day to its search. And such a blackbird must collect twice as many berries as it weighs. Even running water is hard to find for birds if everything is frozen in the winter. Feeding birds out of the winter time is not necessary. They will easily find the food themselves. On the contrary, if you feed the birds during the whole year, they will get used to it and they will eat from feeder, and they will stop looking for the food in nature. Which feeder to choose? You can come across different types, materials and shapes of feeders. It is good to have different feeders in the garden to support different species of birds. Classic house-shaped feeders will serve different species of birds according to their size. Then there are also feeders especially designed for seeds and nuts. And then also feeders for tallow balls. But what we should definitely not forget is a water fountain with drinking water, which is nice to have large enough for a bird bath as well. What every feeder should meet is to protect the feed from snow and rain, because moisture spoils the food quickly. It should therefore have a roof that extends beyond the base to protect the food. As I mentioned, we should supplement our feeding regularly, because birds will start to rely on feeders in winter. If we cannot fill in the feeder daily, there are also self-filling feeders of various sizes, which last for several days and serve food gradually. We should place the feeder at least 1.5 meters above the ground, ideally in undisturbed place where the birds have a view and thus have the opportunity to fly away when a predator appears, which are most often the cats. We don't just have to put the food into the feeder. We can hang it directly on trees or shrubs. For example, we can also leave few apples on the apple tree, which are especially enjoyed by blackbirds in the winter. For some species of birds, it's more natural to gather food on the ground. So don't forget to throw some food on the ground or put a feeder on the ground. For example, blackbirds, woodpeckers or finches can find food on the ground. Under the feeder you will also see the greenfinch or a sparrow. As I have already mentioned, we regularly supplement the feeding and we also continuously clean the feeder. No need to use chemicals, just scrub well. Birds need water as well as food. We change the water in a water reservoir ideally daily. And once a week, we scrub the drinker as well. When the water in the drinker freezes, just pour boiled hot water into it. There is usually a lack of liquid water in frosts, so let's not forget about a well-maintained drinking fountain. And what to feed? In general, we can add mixtures of different seeds and grains to the feeder, such as the popular sunflowers, which we can put both peeled and unpeeled, as well as oats, millet, wheat, and other cereals or legumes. We can also sprinkle various nuts. If we give peanuts, for example, you need to get them in organic quality and, of course, unprocessed, unsalted. It's better to put peanuts in a feeder where the birds will bite just a little. If we put them in an open feeder, some birds could swallow them whole and it would cause them problems. I have a mixture of different seeds here, and then I also have separately purchased unpeeled sunflower seeds, which are popular with many species of birds, and I will add them to the mixture to make their share higher. We can also buy tallow balls. You can also buy various types. For example, I have some that also contain insects, and others that contain seeds and pieces of peanuts. Most tallow balls are sold in plastic nets, which is better to remove. Birds can catch claws and be caught up in them. In addition, fallen nets attract dogs, hedgehogs, and other animals with their scent. They can eat them, and it causes serious health problems to them and can die. Therefore, we prefer to insert the balls into suitable holders. Let's avoid cheap balls of palm oil. The production of palm oil certainly does not benefit our planet, and moreover, birds often do not even like it. Unsuitable food causes birds severe digestive problems and often death, so we never feed moldy or otherwise spoiled food. We never give spicy, salted, smoked, or burnt kitchen leftovers. We also avoid everything sweet. The exception is sugar contained directly in the fruit. So, sliced apple yes, sweetened raisins, or even biscuits, not in any case. Suitable foods from our kitchen are, for example, unsalted boiled rice and potatoes, grated carrots, flakes, raw meat, or tallow. Different species of birds prefer slightly different food. Therefore, it's good to offer a variety of food to help overwinter more bird species. The shape of the beak already shows which food the bird will choose. The small beak of robin is adapted for hunting insects and can also take small seeds or peeled sunflower seeds. The beak of the greenfinch is perfectly adapted for peeling seeds from the skin, which is why they like sunflower seeds, which they peel off brilliantly even in the feeder. So what do the most common bird species in our gardens enjoy? For example, robin, blackbird, fieldfare. They like apples, raisins, rowan berries or oatmeal. Blackbird also likes potatoes cooked in unsalted water or grated carrots. Sparrows, greenfinch or goldfinches enjoy various seeds and nuts. Siskins or robins choose rather small seeds and crushed shelled sunflower seeds. Sparrows or doves will also welcome cereal grains such as oats, millet and wheat on the feeder. Great-titted, blue-titted, nuthatch or woodpecker will be pleased with fat tallow balls or peanuts. Great-titted and blue-titted will also like sunflower seeds. We'll take them on a branch where they will get the seeds out of their skins with their beaks. A popular entertainment not only in the wintertime is to feed the water birds, like swans, ducks or coots. It is best to feed them plant foods such as lettuce, leaves from vegetables, peas or chickpeas. Exceptionally, we can serve them in small quantities unsalted pastries or cooked pasta. The pastry should be soft, but not fresh, and broken into small pieces. Hard bread or pastries can hurt birds' throat. That would be all about feeding birds in winter. I hope that you learned something new, and hopefully you will have a lot of bird species by your feeder. The amount of birds in nature is declining, and this way each of us can help to save them. If you like the video, give it a thumb up, and if you are curious about next upcoming videos, hit the subscribe button. Have a nice time and see you in the next video.